Welcome to Being at Home with George during the time of COVID. Coming to you from sunny Miami, Florida, in a hotel room. I had the privilege of attending and presenting at the NKSFB Miami Wealth Summit. And it's a summit that's held for entertainers and professional athletes. And I was one of the speakers that was presenting yesterday, but it was kicked off by Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer and the pro baseball and football player. I forgot about his baseball career, but he was two-sport professional. But he gave a talk on Hall of Fame perspectives around purpose and meaning. And it was really interesting that it reminded me of what we call the HOF, or the Hall of Fame process, which is hope, optimism, and faith. And he talked a lot about discovering the power within it and expressing it for the greater good. And as coach at a historically black school university, how he was able to land the number one draft choice. And it was really about creating a process or a program that allows a person to achieve their greatest good. It's about the person as a human being, having them grow and develop. And it's interesting because right now, and I feel like even here, being here in Florida, coming here from Massachusetts, and I noticed that a lot of people around here don't wear masks. And I want to talk about conflict resolution because obviously there's a huge conflict in Ukraine right now between Russia and Ukraine. But these conflicts, they start off with little things. They start off with thoughts and behaviors and feelings, and they can get to a point if we don't address them early on, if we don't resolve the conflict early on, they can result in war. And we haven't had anything at this level of magnitude and this seriousness since World War II. That's my opinion. And so what's the lesson here? What can we learn? And how can we deal with potential conflict in a way? So it's the how to. How do we do it? How do we compromise without violating our principles? How can we bring in this idea of mutual benefit, mutual respect? How can we bring in this idea of abundance that says it's enough? And how can we get to a place of win-win or no deal, not lose-win or win-lose? That's seeing the greatness or the masterpiece within each other. And so I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I could see myself, especially when I got on the elevator. There was one hotel I was in, and people didn't have on a mask, so I let two elevators go by. Then the third elevator I got on, and then this man and his daughter was going to get on, and I asked them, please, could you not come on without a mask? And to my surprise, the man said, oh, no problem. He pulled out a mask and put on a mask for his daughter, and they were very cooperative, and they understood my position. And so they got on, and we were fine. Same thing happened when I got to the car from the airport to the hotel. The guy picked me up, and we had a great conversation. And I was really feeling like, I really don't want to ask him to wear a mask, but I want to be in the car with him. And so I asked him to put on a mask, and he did. And we had a conversation about it and about the vaccine and everything else. But it was amicable, and we could talk in a way where we could agree to disagree, or we could say, okay, I understand that. And, I want to honor your freedom just like I have it. And so we have to get to that place where we meet each other on the soul level. And I got to the point where I felt more comfortable, but I was feeling like there was going to be this conflict because I was going to ask people, I honor their ability not to wear a mask, but I wanted to honor my ability to want to wear one because I'm engaged with people who are high risk, including myself. And one organization I work with, when I work with them, I get tested every day. And so there's the idea of understanding that I want to keep everybody safe, including myself, and how to do that in a way where I'm not violating my principles, but compromising. And I even ended up getting on a short elevator ride with people that didn't have masks on because I was in a hurry. And I just said, okay, for 2 flights, I'll make that work. And I noticed that there were other people in the hotel that were wearing masks, even though a majority of the people weren't. And obviously, when I got out and ate in a restaurant, I could take the mask off. But it's just the idea of feeling like it's okay for me to be myself and at the same time not impose my will on someone else, but not letting anybody impose their will on me. So how do you do that? So for me to do it, it's just really seeing the other person as part of myself, that just like me, they want to be happy. Just like me, they want to be free. And so how to have a communication with them where we're not talking at each other, but communicating with each other with this idea of mutual benefit, mutual respect, and just having a conversation and really trying to see from the other person's point of view so that we understand that, yeah, if I was seeing things that way, I'd do the same thing. But having said that, I don't see things that way. So I have to honor that as well. But getting to a place where we could get to mutual benefit, mutual respect. And sometimes what do you do when somebody is belligerent and they don't do that? Well, that's the time that we just have to step away and remove ourselves. If we can, if we can't, then we have to figure out how to be safe and how to mean what we say without being mean when we say it, how to be peaceful and firm. And so even myself, with all this work I've been doing, I could see where there was this part of me that just didn't want to deal with the conflict, just wanted to just act like it's okay. And then there was another part of me that felt like, no, that didn't feel right. Not only that, but that's endangering people. And I think so this COVID thing, the ability of me potentially getting it and then giving it to loved ones, or giving it to people inadvertently, that was something I had to change, because I don't get the flu vaccine. I never have. And so when the COVID vaccine came up, because of loved ones and family members, my brother is on dialysis, I made the choice to get the vaccine, even though that's not something I normally do. But once again, it's like, what's my intention? My intention is non-harming. My intention is maybe to focus on others more than myself. And that was one of the messages that Deion had about being selfless, and about sometimes you can't do it for yourself, but you can do it for your mother. You can do it for other people. And that we could do that. But the idea of integrity, the idea of staying busy, moving forward, these are the things he talked about. Things I talk about is right effort, diligence, staying on task, resetting, rebooting, renewing, beginning again. And in this case, how do we keep the positive mindset, the hope, the optimism, and the faith? Yeah, this is happening. How do we embrace it? And at the same time, say yes to it and generate the hope and see it as an opportunity to somehow connect, or to come to a compromise, or come to a place where I realize I and the other are one.